Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and no crazy intros today. It's my birthday, kicking it back and taking it easy, but what you can do to support me and my channel on my birthday, guys, is subscribe, so I'd really appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get on with the video.
Ultimate Halo.
So guys, we will not be discussing the armor coating topic in this video. We did that yesterday, and if you want to ask me a question for next week's Q&A, just put hashtag AskFletch and you may be chosen for next week's video. So passage 500 says, ask Fletch, do you think we will see Atriox in Halo Infinite at all? Do you think he's dead? I definitely don't think he's dead. Now I'm part way through listening to Halo Shadows of Reach on Amazon Audible thing. Yeah, Audible. So I don't think he's dead. Now, what we are seeing is Escharum, one of his right-hand men, doing a lot of his work for him, and he's leading a lot of his forces. So the vibe we get, I'm only early in the book, but it is saying that Atriox is off somewhere doing some big thing, and we're kind of figuring out what he's doing throughout that whole thing. So Escharum is his main man. Maybe we will, and I think all of that's going to build up to Atriox, but I don't think we're going to touch him for a long time in Halo Infinite. I think it's going to build you up to that, which I think is probably a better idea. It's kind of like how they built up the Didacts in Halo 4. You know, you started off with the Storm Covenant, but actually that's not the main thing you need to be worried about. It's the Didacts, and similar, you know, Escharum, you need to be worried about that guy, but it's going to build up to Atriox, and that's when it's really going to go crazy. Okay, so in the next question, bit of an off-topic one, is NATHANIEL Whittaker, who's asked, written on the 19th of October for next week's video, at the beginning of most of your videos you say, "Hey up lads and lasses." He says, are you Scottish? I love your accent. Also, are you getting the Xbox Series S or X? I'm not Scottish, I'm English. I'm in the north of England in a place called Yorkshire. So yeah, we definitely don't sound like we're Scottish. I think if you said that to a Yorkshireman, they'd probably be quite upset about that, if I'm honest. But yeah, I don't think I'll be getting the Series S or X, and the reason is I'm starting to sort of transition more to PC now these days, and now that a lot more things are cross-play, I can still party chat with my friends on Xbox, and Game Pass is now on the PC. I'm not really seeing much incentive to go, because I'm playing on high refresh rates, high resolutions, and I'm doing all my editing, so why have multiple machines when I got one stop machine just do everything on? So I did consider getting a Series X, and I may further down the line, but maybe just not on launch or in the first year. So the next question comes from the Dragon Reborn 76. I noticed some guitars behind you. What do you play or listen to? Another off-topic one. I'm sorry guys, I'll just grab my guitars. Okay, so this is my ES333 Epiphone Tom DeLonge signature guitar. Huge Angels and Airwaves fan, Blink-182, stuff like that. Grew up listening to a lot of punk and pop rock, Good Charlotte, Taking Back Sunday, stuff like that. But I listen to a lot of acoustic artists like John Mayer, things like that. Yeah, can also play some Halo as well. Okay, so the next on-topic Halo Infinite related question, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to try pronouncing your name because I'm absolutely going to butcher it. But yeah, he says, ask Fletch, do you think 343 are going to fix those Minecraft walls and hills? And if they make them thin and steep like in real life, do you think it'd be kind of difficult to climb and explore them? And the last question, do you think the game is going to look like how it did in the E3 2018 trailer? Now, the 2018 trailer, to be honest with you, that's probably quite reflective. I think the same cutscene will still look the same now. I don't think there's been any downgrades in that sense, but I think when you're seeing things on a larger scale, fidelity and level of detail needs to be cut back a little bit to ensure that everything's running at a smooth and stable frame rate and resolution. Now, when you say the Minecraft walls, I know what you mean, the hexagonal pillars that are going up. Now, there are two reasons why these exist. The first is from a lore perspective. Zeta Halo has been broken into multiple fragments during the process of the human banished war, which we know nothing about just yet, or at least as far as I'm concerned with Shadows of Reach. But so I think this is the ring trying to compartmentalize itself, and if it's separating these pieces with those hexagonal pillars, then that's adding more structure, and then it can eventually stitch them all back together, I'm assuming, because we do know from the extended lore that rings will build themselves back together if they take heavy damage. But artistically, I'm not personally a fan. I think they could work. I think it's just that they've done them way too much. They're way overkill, they're everywhere, and I think it detracts from the nature. And I know normally we used to see more Halo rings. I think it's probably a technical decision from 343 mixed with an artistic one, and I think maybe if they'd made them just look a little bit darker or grittier, because they're too shiny in the background, so maybe if they blended in a little bit more, that would be a bit more beneficial. But I think it would be difficult to climb, and I think they're probably to indicate as well from a gameplay perspective, you can't go above this unless there's something like a lift we see in the gameplay trailer. So the next question is from Stacking Benjies. Who are your top 3 favourite Halo YouTubers and why? This is a tough one because the thing is I'm friends with a lot of Halo YouTubers, you know, we're all a tight-knit, close community. And if any of my Halo YouTube friends are watching and I don't choose you, it's not because I dislike your content, maybe it's not my style or whatever, but I love you all. But I'd say Halo Canon, because his knowledge of the lore is really insightful. He knows everything down to a T. That guy is crazy. He's also just a great guy. Late Night Gaming has got a lot of really interesting insight into all facets of Halo, whether it's music, gameplay, the formula the game has, and he has a lot of unique ideas as well. And in terms of the third,
maybe you should just change your question.
I can't change the question.
Why can't you change the question?
Because they make the questions. That's the whole point. Okay, actually, traditionally these kind of YouTubers aren't my favourite because I'm more of a lore kind of guy. But Rejected Shotgun has been doing some amazing stuff with the Scrapped Guardian and how he's modded that into Halo 3 on PC. So I'm going to go with Rejected Shotgun on this one. Okay, so this question is actually 2 questions. I'm going to merge them into one because they're quite similar. But Ruben Hernandez MORA asked me, how did you get into Halo fan community and what inspired you to like the game? And also LUXITHER, or something like that, I'm sorry. I said, how long has Halo been a part of your life? So Halo's been a part of my life. So Halo Combat Evolved launched when I was 5 in 2001. So I released in September and I turned 6 in October. And I'm pretty sure we got it on launch. And you know, one of the reasons I got into it is my older brother. He started playing it. He absolutely loved it, and so did I, and it just kind of caught him from there. I absolutely loved Halo from the word go, and what got me into the community, I was making videos on a different channel of my own in like 2011 when Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary was coming out, and then I kind of scrapped it. I didn't see the value in it, which I regret massively, because I think if I kept at it, I could have been really up there in terms of the subscriber numbers. I dropped it, and then all of a sudden Pixel Flare started Ultimate Halo. He said, look, you know, we're bringing guys on board, let's do it, let's get this cool team. I applied and I got on it, and that was that. And then everyone's fizzled out over the years, but I'm still the one standing on Ultimate Halo, and the channel's now mine. So just my love and my passion for Halo just got me in there, and honestly it has genuinely changed my life, and I'm grateful for the memories, the friendships and the experiences I've had because of it. So next we have DIAMONDKRAFT, who says, what do you think about the pulse carbine being in Halo Infinite? I'm worried it might be just a bland weapon like the Storm Rifle, and I'd like to know your opinion on this. Now, initially, with pretty much all the weapons shown in Halo Infinite, I was kind of lukewarm at first. I wasn't too sure, but I kind of am always like that on first reception, and then I analysed it a bit more, and I think all the weapons look like they have a punch visually, so I'm excited to see what it feels like actually using them. But I think the Pulse Carbine does look really good, and I think that for the, not the Mauler, what's it called? The Mangler. Is it the Mangler? It's the Mangler. Yeah, not too sure. Mangler. But they both look really satisfying to use, and I think a lot of fans who are probably skeptical about them for the time being will probably get the game in their hands and think, actually, this feels really satisfying to use. And I don't know if it's just me who thinks this, but I think every gun has a bit of a Destiny look in terms of how they feel and work. I don't know if that's just me overthinking it, but I think they look really great. No complaints, and I think we'll probably see when it comes closer to testing the game out. So we've just got a few more questions left now. These questions all merge into one, so I'm just going to feature them all on the screen. Basically, everybody wants to know what I think about Halo Infinite potentially releasing in parts. Now, I do not think that is at all a good idea for Halo Infinite, because that's in essence what Halo 5 did when it launched. It came out without core features such as Forge, custom games browser, things like that, and a lot of other content that should have been in there from launch. So I think actually segmenting it in that way would be really harmful. But I think equally at the same time, I think if Halo Infinite was to launch compromised in terms of quality, in terms of graphical fidelity, in terms of gameplay and polish, I think that would really damage the franchise going forward. I think this could be Halo's redemption story to really come back and really get a new audience into the franchise. So So no, I don't think you should release in parts. I would advise against that if I was advising 343 Industries. But if it was an only option to make sure it came out polished, then I would take it. But I'd just say delay it till holiday if that was the case. But okay, the penultimate question. RIAAN HC Casual Gamer says, new and subscribed here after this video. Sorry for getting it dark, but let's say Halo Infinite comes out in holiday 2021 and it sucks. What's the worst that can happen? It's glitchy, the gameplay does not flow well, the visuals and controls disappoint, and riddled with microtransactions and paid DLC to unlock parts of the open world. Will you remain positive, and how will they change it for the better? How long would you stay positive, and can the game still be salvaged, or just throw in the towel and let the Halo dream sail off into the sunset? That's sad. It's a sad thought, and I just say I wouldn't be so cynical about it, and I know it's really easy to think that, especially, you know, with modern time gaming. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was an absolute mess in so many ways, particularly in terms of how they handled microtransactions, whilst at its core it was a fun game. I'm a positive person when it comes to Halo, and I'm quite open-minded to a lot of things. I think I would hang in there, but the problem is these days, as soon as something launches bad, everybody jumps on it. Everybody wants to see it die, and that's it. And then it might salvage a community and grow going forward. Look at games such as Rainbow Six Siege. That's as big as ever, and that's been out for years now. And that pro scene is just getting bigger. So it's possible. I don't know. Personally, I don't know. It depends if I personally like the game. If there's a lot of community reception that they don't like it, then I understand that. But I think if I like it, that's more when I know I will continue. Last question from MORI, and they say, what do you think makes missions on Halo good? Basically, what makes a mission from Halo CE so good and the mission Genesis from Halo 5 not so good? Genesis isn't a terrible mission, I just want to get that clear, and the bit where you're actually riding down the Guardian is really fun and entertaining. I think my problem with it is that it doesn't really invoke any sort of feeling, those missions. I would say that in Halo Combat Evolved 2 and 3, you felt like you're on this ring alien planet, and there was always somewhere you just felt like you can go off in the distance and you want to explore it, even though you necessarily couldn't, but you felt like it was a living, breathing world. And I didn't always connect to Genesis. It was muggy. I think my mission at the time was too structured and linear to say, right, you're going to go find Chief, and actually it should be more along the lines of, let's just see what happens. Let's go over to that canyon, see if we can find these Marines, and just follow the yellow brick road. I think that's kind of the magic about Halo Combat Evolved. It let you go in any direction that you needed to do. So it's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think Halo 5's problem with a lot of its missions is actually the scenery was very repetitive. So we went to St. Helios multiple times, Genesis multiple times, and Kamchatka, and the last mission very similar in terms of visual design. And I've always said that in video games, I've hammered this on so many times, but games like Zelda or even the original Halo game, there's always like a desert area, a night area, a snow area, and that visual difference between all of them is an important part of making sure the player has a specific memory of each level. It's like, okay, this is a snow mission, I remember this bit over here. Whereas like if you merge all these levels into just one, it's like, oh yeah, this is that green place, I think I've been here before. Doesn't create the same memories. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know that was a lot to digest, but that was my special birthday Q&A. Any other questions, put hashtag AskFletch in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.